The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good Wednesday afternoon to you. My name is Ron Juckett, doing something a little out of order as we had meetings yesterday regarding, personal home life stuff. And so we could not get a Tuesday stream. If you wanted to watch the game I did Tuesday, the Yankees and the Brewers are up on YouTube. If you like offense, then you'll love that game. Today, we featured the Texas Rangers and Boston Red Sox from April 14th, 1978. I think this is the Red Sox 78 home opener. Dennis Eckersley goes for the Red Sox. They are 4-1. Texas, being that everyone was kind of a jumbled up mess in the American League in 1978, off to a bad start. 1-4. Texas has had the unfortunate fortune of 3 against the Yankees and 2 against the Tigers. And now they spend this weekend in Boston, a beautiful 65-degree afternoon in the Back Bay. So Doyle Alexander and Dennis Eckersley next on Retro Sports Network. It will have all the starting lineups and stories for you right after this message. If you're watching on YouTube, I can now run an ad. But if you're watching on Twitch, you get a 30-second ad here. I don't see it. I don't know what you're seeing. Well, okay, so we've done the 30-second ad break for that. So let's tell you about what we got going on. First, let's take a look at the standings. No, really, let's take a look at the standings. Oh, wow, we're actually going to see California this time. And the National League, as we head into the weekend, it's the Phillies and Cardinals tomorrow. Cardinals are off to a 1-5 start. The Phillies are 2-2. National League West, the Dodgers have a half-game lead over San Diego, Atlanta, and Cincinnati. Dodgers and Reds. Yes, DJ John, a commercial. Tell me what you actually saw, because I did not see it. And I'll explain why in a moment. Cincinnati and the Dodgers sometime live next week on this channel. Houston 3-4. San Francisco 1-5 in the East. Pittsburgh has won 5 straight since their opening day loss to the Cubs. The Cubs are 4-2. Philadelphia 2-2, and then no one else is coming. Anti-smoking vaping. Well, there you go. A PSA. I might actually get paid for it at some point. American League, California has run roughshod over the Minnesota Twins and Oakland Athletics. They are 7-0. Kansas City 3-1 on the year. Minnesota has lost 4 straight. Thanks a bunch. 5-4. Chicago, Oakland, Seattle, and Texas. You don't want to get too far behind. They're 5 games out after 5 days. In the East, the Yankees are 5-1. You'll see why if you watch last night's video. The Red Sox are 4-1. Detroit, Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Toronto all behind there. And Cleveland is where you can't see it. And so let's tell you about Dennis Eckersley. He went 0-1. He started last Saturday, so he's had pretty much a week off, against the Chicago White Sox, where he took a loss. 8 innings, 9 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 1. And this will be the lineup that he will face on a sunny afternoon in Boston. Mike Hargrove, the human rain delay, will lead off and play first. Bert Campaneris at short will bat second. Al Oliver, the left fielder, will bat third. Richie Zisk is your DH. He will clean up. Toby Harrah is at third. He'll bat fifth. Claudell Washington, before he gets traded to the Chicago White Sox, is in right field. He'll bat sixth. Juan Benitez in center, bats seventh. Bump Wills is at second, going eighth. And Jim Sundberg behind the plate will bat ninth. Doyle Alexander is on the mound. Defensively for Boston, it is Yastrzemski in left. He is a 9 and a 6. Freddie Lynn is in center. He is a 10 and a 6. Dwight Evans is a 10 and I think a 9 in right. Butch Hobson, to answer the question, is a 6 at third. Remember, that's a range number. It has nothing to do with that god-awful .899 fielding percentage. Rick Burleson is a 9 at short. And Jerry Remy is a 6 at second. And George the Boomer Scott is a 9 at first. Carlton Fisk behind the plate, he's an 8 and a 7. And Dennis Eckersley with a glove is an 8 with a 1,000 fielding percentage. So Hargrove at .353 to start the young year with a homer and 2 RBI. Eckersley deals ball 4. Evans is an 8 at right. So Hargrove not going anywhere. And that'll bring up Bert Campaneris, who's playing way over his head at the plate. .385, 5 for 13. Dennis delivers. He drops a drag bunt down there that George Scott didn't even see, and everybody's safe. It's an E3, as a matter of fact. It kind of hit Scott off the chest. He wasn't really expecting it, and he couldn't get a glove on it. And so it's an error, a walk and an error, and Eckersley's going, Brings up Al Oliver, 263, 5 for 19 on the year. Tomorrow, back to our regularly scheduled day, and you'll see the Phillies and the Cardinals, which I believe actually was the NBC Saturday game of the week. Oliver. Ground ball to second. Remy comes in. The only play is to first, and Oliver is retired. Hargrove to third. Campaneris to second, and that brings up Richie Zisk. 4 for 18 on the year. No homers and an RBI. Dennis delivers. Struck him out. He got him to swing and miss on a full count at 91, and Eckersley kind of dances around the mound. If the Red Sox can get out of this, they'll be in good shape. Toby Hara, slow start for Toby, 214. 3 walks and a strikeout. Not great numbers. Has a chance to drive in 2. Dennis delivers. Hara draws a walk. So Eckersley has loaded the bases. He's walked 2 and struck out 1 for Claudell Washington. And, yep, that's where he's going. He's going to Chicago. But with the Rangers, he's 1 for 12. He's grounded into 2 double plays and struck out 4 times. That's an average of .083. He would be traded for Bobby Bonds. Eckersley delivers. Ground ball to Burleson. He's going to go for the play at first. And Washington cannot beat it out. The Rangers load the bases and leave them. It's like a bad country song. Loaded, lying, and leaving. Texas nothing. Here come the Sox. So Doyle Alexander pitched game 2 of the year against the Yankees last Sunday, the 9th of April. He went 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, a home run. 3 runs, 2 earned. He walked 2. Clicking on batting run does not make any difference. So there you go. And threw 111 pitches in the process. The lineup he will face. Jerry Remy leads off at second base. Rick Burleson, the shortstop, will bat second. Jim Rice, the DH today, will hit third. Yastrzemski is in left. He's cleaning up. Carlton Fisk behind the plate will bat 5th. Freddie Lynn in center goes 6th. George Scott, the Boomer, at first, will bat 7th. Dwight Evans in right field will bat 8th. And Butch Hobson at third will bat 9th. So the defense for Texas, Al Oliver is a 7-arm in left. Juan Benitez a 9 and 7 in center. Claudell Washington is covered by Jerry Remy's shadow, so I can't see that yet. Toby Hara playing in as a 5 at third. Bert Campaneris an 8 at short. Bump Wills is 7 at second. Mike Hargrove an 8 at first. Jim Sundberg, not Jim Sundberg is a 10 and a 9 behind the plate. Doyle Alexander is an 8 on the mound. This is from Friday, April 14th, 1978. So if I don't get 2 good games on a Wednesday or 2 good day games on a Saturday, we're going to take the best Friday game. So they're going to be One game from a Wednesday, one from a Friday, and one from a Saturday. Unless NBC got handed 2 good games. The Rem Dog at 204 for 20 on the year with an RBI. He's not going to bunt. He's walked twice and struck out 3 times. Alexander's pitch is a ground ball to Hara. Cuts it off. Wow, what a throw to Hargrove for the out. So Oliver is a 5 and a 7 in left, and Clydell Washington is only a 2 in right. If the Red Sox can hit one down the line, they could run for a while. Wow, that picture of Rick Burleson may actually be from 1978. 286 for the Rooster with 3 RBI. Alexander delivers, ball 4. We don't know what Washington's arm is. We don't really care. Here's Jim Rice, and that is definitely not from 1978. The Red Sox, of course, in the red hats and the softball pullovers without buttons. Jim added 409, a homer, and 5 RBI. Game number 6 for both teams. Red Sox 4-1, Texas 1-4. So John, for giggles, said he had played this game on a recent replay, not working today, going to find the score sheet. Pitch to Rice. There's a ground ball to short. Campaneris dives in the hole. This should be 2. Wills for 1, and no throw to first. Campaneris robbed Jim Rice of a single. 2 out for Yastrzemski, who is 8 for 20. That's 400. And 3 solo home runs. And that picture of Captain Carl is definitely not from 1978. In fact, if you see the light standard behind Carl, that's Yankee Stadium pre-renovation, so that's pre-73, or pre-74. Pitch to Yaz from Alexander. Ground ball, base hit, right side. Washington will cut it off. Rice moves over to third, and that brings up Pudge Fisk in another picture from old Yankee Stadium with 2 out. Carlton at 333, no homers and 4 RBI. The pride of Rockingham, Vermont. Buckeye Todd, how are you? Did you get served an ad too? Because I can now serve those. We'll get to that as we go along. No score, bottom of the first. Red Sox and Rangers on a Friday afternoon. The Red Sox 78 home opener. Pitch to Fisk. Fly ball right field. Washington goes back and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit. The Sox strand 2. After 1, no score. So Eckersley threw 26 pitches in the first. He'll face Benitez, Wills, and Sundberg here in the second. 125. That's 2 for 16 on the year. He struck out 4 times. And as we go along this Wednesday afternoon, the day after the Hall of Fame announcement, be curious to get your guys' thoughts on the class of 2020. Pitch to Benitez. Ground ball to first. Scott makes a good play. He flips it over to Eckersley for the out, 1 away. So Scott, for a big man, can lumber around well. And it is yeoman's work to get that out. Here's Bump Wills, 188. Somehow he's got a solo homer. I wonder if he did that against the Yankees. And 2 strikeouts. Sox will play at the corners. Hobson and Scott come in to play the bunt because Wills can drop one. He does not. He lines that foul. Left side or right side. Somebody from Holyoke making the trip on the Mass Pike made that catch. It was a good... Who'd you get out of that? I'm trying to think. Rick Wise, I think, was one of the players involved. A 1-2 count to Wills. Eckersley delivers, and there's a liner into right center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Wills is going for 2. The throw to short, second, is in time. Bump Wills thought he could run on Dwight Evans, and Evans threw a BB. A backup catcher and Ted Cox. I believe you're right. And Rick Wise. So 2 out as Wills is thrown out trying to take second on a single. You don't mess around on Dwight Evans' arm. Here's Sundberg. Slow week so far. 133, 2 for 15. He has struck out 4 times. Eckersley deals. Sundberg strikes out. A 2-2 in there at the belt. First strike 3. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 1.5, Texas and the Red Sox are scoreless in Boston. I'm drinking my lunch at the same time. Trader Joe's tomato bisque soup. Oh my God, is that good. So if you got Trader Joe's around and you like tomato soup, kind of helps, I highly recommend it. They refrigerate it, you pour it into a cup, and I can drink it with a straw. It's so good. Anyway, enough of that commercial. Not getting paid for that. Freddie Lynn, George Scott, and Dwight Evans here in the second with Butch Hobson, if anybody should reach. Freddie at 333, a homer and 6 RBI. Eck and Rick Manning were playing wife swap. I believe we call that dipsying in someone else's doodle. So that had some bearing on the trade because it was Cleveland. Wasn't Gabe Paul the GM in Cleveland then? But Buckeye Todd and I think most of Tribe Nation would have gotten rid of Rick Manning. Although I think he's pretty much beloved as an announcer now, isn't he? Pitch to Lynn. Here's a fly ball to right center. Benitez makes a good play. Battling the sun, 1 out on a 1-1 breaking ball. Here's Scott, 400 for George. A homer and 5 RBI. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the second. Red Sox and Rangers. This was supposed to be our taped game, but we had circumstances yesterday that dictated they couldn't do it live. No score. Pitch to Scott. And there's a line drive into right center field. It's going to go all the way to the triangle. Scott's going for 3, and he's got it. You know, although Scott is given a 5 speed, that it would have had to have gotten all the way to the 420 mark in right center in the triangle for Scott to even try a triple there. But the Red Sox have a runner on third and 1 out for Evans. Dewey at 0.59, but that one hit. I've never seen George Scott run that fast in my life, for sure. Dewey has a 3-run homer to his credit. He has walked 4 times and struck out 5, and RBI number 4 standing right on third. Alexander deals. Ground ball to Campaneris. Scott motors home. The play is at first, and it's 1-0 Boston. So Evans is retired, 2 out. For Butch Hobson. And that definitely is a late 70s picture of Butch. 167 with 3 RBIs. No homers. Hobson does have 2 doubles. He struck out 122 times when striking out 100 was a big deal. Did you see, for those of you who got the Stratomatic newsletter, we're talking about the release of the baseball game, that there are so many strikeouts now in baseball that they had to up the stat package so a batter could strike out 255 times from both sides of the plate? Pitch to Hobson. Here's a liner in the left. Al Oliver will pick it up on a hop. And Butch has a 2-out single. Third hit for Boston. And Alexander threw 9 batters, 35 pitches, an inning and 2/3. 3 hits and a walk, and the 1 run coming on the Scott triple. And driven in by Evans. Remy's 0 for 1. Hobson on first. George Scott, Mo Vaughn, Sam Horn, and Big Papi all on the same diet. And if we're going to talk about soups and do commercials, how about some legal seafood clam chowder? Served at Fenway Park for $10 a container. Pitch to Remy. Ground ball to short. Campaneris again deep in the hole. Throws to first. And Campaneris has robbed the Red Sox of 2 hits. Boston does get on the board. The triple by Scott pays off. A run on 2 hits and no errors. It's Boston 1, Texas nothing. The other thing I saw in the Strat newsletter last night is that they're going to be doing daily cards during the season. So if you want to play along in real time with the 2020 season, that is now included in the package. 62, by the way, if you're not familiar, is the retro season. It'll be Hargrove, Campaneris, and Oliver top of the lineup here to face Dennis Eckersley. 39 pitches for Eck, 2 innings, a hit, no runs. He's walked twice. He's walked 2, including Hargrove, and struck out 2. That is whack for sure, Todd. Eckersley deals. Hargrove, ground ball to Burleson, over to first for the out. Campaneris walked his first time up. Hobson and Scott playing. Eck deals. Sharp ground ball. Hobson over to first. Scott scampers back for the out. So 2 quick out here for Eckersley and the Red Sox. And now bring up Al Oliver, who's 0 for 1. Eck deals. Got him! So Oliver, off-speed pitch, swung on and missed to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Rangers go down in order. I think I only had 1.5 inning last night where anybody went down in order. It was nuts. 2.5 down. Red Sox 1, Rangers nothing. So Rick Burleson, Jimmy Rice, and Kari Yastrzemski to face Doyle Alexander here in the bottom of the 3rd. The Rooster walked his first time up. Alexander deals, and there's a fly ball right center. Benitez, 1 out. This game went extras. Okay. Texas in this replay is just, right now, it's struggling. And because they're already 4 games behind California. California will come back down to earth, of course, and Texas, it's game 6 of the season. But you cannot be in the position where you're fighting in mid-April, 7, 8 games back. If Ryan could K 300 a season back, oh my goodness gracious. Well, he probably would only throw about 200 innings. He'd walk about 110 and strike out about 315. I would say, Max Scherzer without the control, would that make sense? Rice is 0 for 1. Alexander deals, and there's a fly ball left center. Back goes Benitez, way back there. It's gone. Jim Rice, home run, and it's 2-0 Boston. His 2nd of the year to the left of the flagpole. Off the flagpole. That ball was crushed. So that'll bring up Kyle Yastrzemski, who singled his first time up. Again, for the Rangers, it's a tough start. It's the Yankees, Tigers, and Red Sox. At some point, you'll get to feast off the Cleveland Indians and Seattle Mariners and Toronto Blue Jays of the American League. But 1-4, maybe that year might have been considered blah. But looking back, that's a terrible start. Pitch to Yaz. Ball 4, Alexander having trouble retiring batters. 3-1 fastball was outside. And that'll bring up Fisk, who's 0 for 1. Doyle delivers. There's a line drive to center. Benitez is there. 2 out for Fred Lynn, who's 0 for 1. Alexander, in 191 innings in real life, only struck out 81. He's walked 2 today and 4 on the year. In 9 2/3 innings in the replay, hasn't struck out anybody. Let's see if I've jinxed Fred Lynn, who's 0 for 1. Nope, line drive to right. Washington is there. And that will be retired this side. The big blast by Rice, the lone run on a hit and no errors. After 3, it's the Red Sox 2. The Rangers nothing. As I eat more of my lunch. That's right, they had only scored 6 runs all year coming into this in 5 games. But they have faced Mark Fidrich, Ed Figueroa, and Ron Guidry, at least for starters, and Eckersley was a 20-game winner in '78. Zisk is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Pitch from Dennis. Here's a fly ball to left center. Back goes Lynn. Forget about it. It's gone. And that's their 7th run of the year. Richie Zisk put that one way out there in left center field. And it's 2-1 Boston. Backdoor slider. And Zisk crushed it. So Kaboom City, no wind at Fenway today. Beautiful bright day, 68 degrees, and John's replay, Rice hit a homer 2-0 after 3. We're kind of matching now, aren't we, John? Toby Harrell walked his first time up. Eckersley delivers. Got him! He got him on a full count fastball. Harrell just does not like the call. Al Red Sox fan says, keep your mouth shut. And he does. Here's Washington. He's 0 for 1. And Rice had 46 homers in 78. That's the year that he really put up his best Cooperstown numbers. Pitch to Claudel. Ground ball to Remy. Over to first for the out. 2 out for Benitez, who's 0 for 1. Eckersley gave up 30 homers and 268 in a third inning, so he is touchable. But if your ERA's around 3 and you give up 30 homers, you tend to give up some solo shots. Pitch to Juan. Here's a liner in the right field that will bounce in front of Evans for a base hit. And that's a 2-out single for Bump Wills, who singled and was thrown out trying to stretch that in a double. Finally a difference. Zisk went over 4 and grounded into a double play and 2 strikeouts. Playing Sadvi for that, right? Or advanced or basic, or what version of Stratomatic are you using? 2 out. Eckersley delivers. Wills, ground ball to Burleson in the hole. Flips it to Remy, and that will retire the side. They get the 4-6-4. A run on 2 hits on the solo shot by Zisk. 3.5 down. Red Sox 2, Rangers 1. The Boomer, he actually hit 4 triples in real life. In 78, has a triple, 1 for 1 today. Evans and Hobson to follow. 2-1 Boston, bottom of the 4th. Alexander deals, ball 4. This has not been Doyle Alexander's best ball game. Here's Dewey. Sadvi. Okay, super advanced or Sadvi. So I would kind of classify this as between the two, advanced and super advanced. So Scott on first for Evans, who grounded into a fielder's choice and drove in the first Red Sox run in the second. Got him. First strikeout of the year for Alexander is a fastball at 87 that Evans swung on and missed. Brings up Hobson, who singled his first time up. 2-1 Red Sox, bottom of the 4th, 1 out. Pitch to Butch. And there's a liner to center. Benitez is there for the out, 2 away. So Alexander threw 18 batters, 65 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits. The home run to Rice. He has walked 3 and struck out 1. Buckeye Todd is my 52nd follower. He joins Robbie Wartburg 2020 as the latest followers on the channel, and I appreciate that a great deal. Here's Remy. He's 0 for 2. If you have, by the way, an Amazon Prime account, oops, I said the magic word and the other thing went off. You can now sub to the channel and not have to pay a dime. Twitch and I split the proceeds, but that's free. You get 1 free Twitch subscription with your Prime account. So, just so you know. And breaking news, I knew you weren't talking about the New Kids in the Block or the Japanese League. And as much as Houston and Boston screw it up, and more likely Alex Cora screw it up, you do not strip titles. This is not college athletics. Pitch to Remy is a line drive, right field base hit. That gets in front of Washington. Scott motors over to third. And his runners in the corners, 2 out for Burleson, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Alexander kind of scuffling right along here today at Fenway. Pitch from Doyle. Burleson line drive, foul, third base side. Nice young couple from Nashua, New Hampshire making that catch. If you don't. Honestly, I live in New England. I know way too many town names up here. Rick Burleson walked in his 0 for 1. Pitch to Rick. Fly ball, center field. Back goes Benitez, and that will retire the side. The Red Sox 3-2. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 4, Boston 2, Texas 1. I think On Golden Pond, I think, was based out of New Hampshire. Yeah, the LA City Council has better things to do than to ask MLB to crown the Dodgers champions. And John's autocorrect has kicked in a couple times here. We have an island pond in Vermont. That's way out where Tony Whitehill lives, up in the northeast part of the state. Probably most notorious for one of the biggest child beating rings ever to be broken up, and the state got in a lot of trouble for it. Religious sect that believed in hitting their children hard back in the early 80s. The state went and raided the place, took the kids, and it was thrown out by the courts. Jim Sundberg is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Eckersley delivers. Got him! A 1-2 out of the zone, and that's 5 for Eckersley. So through 18 batters, 78 pitches, 4 1/3 innings for Dennis. 3 hits, a homer. He has walked 2 and struck out 5. The homer was Zisk's. Hargrove is 0 for 1 with a walk. Or just fat fingers. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, my friend. I think Golden Pond, the movie with Henry Fonda, Katharine Hepburn, and Jane Fonda, I think was New Hampshire. I think they were trying to Lake Winnipesaukee. Someone will correct me on that. Pitch to Hargrove. Ground ball to Remy over to first for the out. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. Bert Campaneris, who is 0 for 1. Eck deals. Got him! He got him on an 0-2 at the belt. No runs, no hits, no errors. Halfway home on the back bay of Boston, 2-1 Red Sox. And here's the in-game box score. Ricky Zisk has the lone RBI for Texas, his homer. As a team, the Rangers are only hitting .219. That might be why they're 1-4. The Red Sox are hitting .294 as a team, and there's 5 hits on the board today. And there's the pitching matchup. Eckersley 3 hits through 5. Alexander 5 hits through 4. And they've both given up a home run. And Buckeye Todd is going to go to his favorite Fortnite room and ask the kiddies. I'd be curious to know if any of those kids would know who the hell Henry Fonda is. Here's Jim Rice. He hit a bomb off the flagpole in left center. 1 for 2. It'll be Rice, Yaz, and Fisk here in the bottom of the 5th. That's time. It's a strikeout. Jimmy went fishing on a 2-2 breaking ball for strike 3, and that's the second for Alexander. Brings up Yastrzemski. He is singled and walked. He's 1 for 1. From the stretch, ground ball to third. Hara across the diamond for the second out. We're going to run another commercial break here in a moment, kiddies, because we can. And I'd be curious if John and pod get different ads. Here's Carlton Fisk. He's 0 for 2. Ground ball or line drive left center field. That's going to get down on a hop, and Fisk has himself a hit. Well, I said Jane was in there. Ever seen the opening for Barbarella? There's enough skin there to show some serious date time. I wouldn't watch Barbarella with Janie at 84 or however old she is. But in 50 years ago or however many years ago that was, oh boy. Here's Freddie Lynn. He's 0 for 2. Alexander deals. Fred hits a fly ball to right. Washington doesn't really have to move too much, and that will retire the side. Okay, well, after all that, no runs, a hit, no errors. We'll do it after the 6th. I want to make it consistent. It's the Red Sox 2, the Rangers 1. So here's Al Oliver. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Zisk and Hara to follow. Texas has kept this close. Alexander has settled in quite nicely. Pitch to Oliver. Ground ball to second. Remy to first for the out. Phillies Cardinals tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Live on Twitch. Here's Zisk. First home run of the year. And now his 2 RBI. Eck deals. Got him. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball at 88. And that's 7 for Eckersley in 5 2/3 inning. Here's Toby Hara. He's 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. Eckersley delivers. And there's a line drive to Remy. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. I do have control of placement of the ads. We'll talk about this in a moment. Let's get through the inning, and let's do the inning, and then I'll play an ad. Here's George Scott. He tripled and walked. He's 1 for 1. Alexander deals, and there's a line drive to third. Harris snags it for the out. The reason why I took out, because God knows what YouTube is going to do with music, although that was from the YouTube library. And now the game itself plays the 7th inning stretch. But we could figure out a way to get that in here. So here's Evans. He's 0 for 2. He is grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out as an RBI. And he sends this one to left. Oliver has it for the out, 2 away. Here's Butch Hobson, 1 for 2. This doesn't look like Monopoly. You're absolutely right, Holy Elvis. It is not. Where'd you see that? It's a card game, essentially, played on a computer. But you're right, it's not Monopoly. Hobson is 1 for 2. Well, it kind of is a board game. You just play it on the computer. Pitch to Hobson. There's a ground ball up the middle. B's hit. He's going for 2. And Butch is in there with a double. I know what a board game means. Jeez. That's right. Well, yeah. I can, and I think sometimes if you come in late, I know in some of the other channels, that's right. It uses a motherboard. I forgot what I was going to say. I think if you jump into some other people's streams, you normally get served an ad beforehand, but I think you might need to be a partner for that. Here's Remy. He's 1 for 3. Alexander delivers. There's a ground ball to Wells over to first, and that will retire the side. The Red Sox go 1, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 6, it's the Red Sox 2, the Rangers 1. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And for those watching on YouTube, We'll just put this up there. Well, thanks, Holy Elvis, for being such a good sport. All right, so we're back to start the 7th inning, and we'll get to that in a second. So I'm curious to see what you guys saw for an ad. Oops, pre-roll ads are disabled for 10 minutes, so I can't run another ad. That's fine. But we'll get to this in a moment. I became a Twitch affiliate on Sunday. I now have 52 followers, again, thanks to Buckeye Todd 63, Robbie W., Robbie Wartberg, and one Credit Clear has put me over on my live stream on Sunday for doing that. And so we now can actually get money from Twitch, which may surprise the Snickers out of Holy Elvis TV. So you'll get ads every once in a while here on Twitch. Sometimes when you come into the stream, or sometimes when there's a natural break in the action. And on my panel, I can run a 30, I can run a 60, and I can run a 2-minute break. But we don't want to do too many of those, but that's something I can do. Tyson Chicken and Sprint. Okay. That's interesting. I like that. You can also now sub to my channel for free if you have an Amazon Prime account. Yes, I know, I said it off. Since it owns Twitch, you get one account for free, and Twitch and I split the money for it. So, can I make my own Geico commercial? I thought I pretty much was a rolling Geico commercial. So those are the new changes. We'll talk about it a little bit more on YouTube. The other thing that this means is essentially is that I can't run things the same day on YouTube that I do on Twitch, because Twitch asks or demands that there's a 24 hours exclusive to Twitch, which is why you'll get another video today on YouTube that will explain that. So those were the ads that he saw. So there you go. That's the changes. And so the recording doesn't see it. It hears me. And so let's go back to the ball game. Oh, pretty good ads. Sort of like Coke versus Pepsi. Yeah, I kind of like that. Claudel Washington is 0 for 2. Washington, Benitez, and Wills here in the 7th inning. Eckersley, 93 pitches as we start the 7th. And Bobby Thompson is going to pinch hit. No, not that one. Thompson 0 for 1 on the year. 225, 2 homers, and 12 RBI. Pitch to Bobby. Ground ball right back to Eckersley. Over to Scott for the out. I think we trying to drove away Holy Elvis. Benitez 1 for 2. Got himself a single. Pitch to Juan. There's a fly ball, left center field. Back goes Lynn. We're tied up. Benitez just hammered that one into left center, and we're tied at 2. And John Marichich is going, yep, we're going to go extra. Now that would be cool. Let's show the home run again. That ball was nailed. And all Lennon could do is turn and watch it go. It would be kind of cool if Action PC could whip a commercial when I stream it and earn something for that. That would be kind of cool. You're absolutely right. So 2-2, top of the 7th. Here's Wills. Bump is 1 for 2. Thrown out, trying to turn a single into a double. That was the hit. And this time he grounds one into right. Is he going to run on Evans again? No, sir. So 5 hits now for the Rangers. And that'll bring up Jim Sundberg, who is 0 for 2. Eckersley deals. There goes Wills. Ground ball to third. Hobson makes a good range play. Hit and run was on. They get Sundberg at first. And there's 2 out for Mike Hargrove, who is 0 for 2. Pitch from Eck. Ball 4. So through 28 batters, Eckersley 119 pitches. 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 home runs. He has walked 3 and struck out 7. Campy is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 2-2, top of the 7th. Rangers and Red Sox opening day at Fenway, 78. Campaneris in the left. Yastrzemski going way back there. It's gone. And the lead is gone. Texas goes up 5-2. Campaneris had that one sailed on the line and left. And Yastrzemski slaps the wall with his glove. Yup, can't be homered. My goodness gracious. And so 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Rangers, and 4 left on. The Red Sox 2 runs, 7 hits, and an error, and 8 left on. And the inner 6-year-old's bawling his eyes out. Here's Oliver. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Eckersley deals, and that's into right field. Back goes Evans. It's gone. Where's baseball demos? Because Bob Stanley is warming up. Eckersley hung that one out there. He's allowed 3 home runs. There's not a breath of wind at Fenway today. It is a drop-dead gorgeous April day in Boston. And Al Oliver makes it 6-2. We got a pitching change. Here comes Robert Stanley, making his 1978 debut. 5 on the board, 2 out, top of the 7th. This game coming to you from Fenway Park in Boston. Well, it's not his debut. He does have a save. So he's pitched on the 9th against the White Sox and went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit and a strikeout and a save. So that's Stanley's year to date. Can throw up to 75 pitches. Campaneris, we're told from the truck, hit 1 homer in 269 at-bats in 1978. Here's Zisk. Speaking of homering, Campaneris, Oliver, and Zisk all with home runs. 5 on the board for Texas here in the top of the 7th. Popped up, right side, Remy. By the foul line, makes the catch, and that will retire to the side. Stretch time here in Boston, 6-2 Texas. John Kiley having a little fun on the organ. It'll be Rick Burleson, Jim Rice, and Kari Yastrzemski here in the bottom of the 7th. Rick is 0 for 2 with a walk. Yep, an historic home run from Bert Campaneris, which just tells you that greens and coffee go off hand in hand still. Bob Stanley needs an invite to Digital Dice. Here's the pitch to Burleson. There's a ground ball to third. Hara across the way for the out. 1 away. So Alexander stands to win this. Eckersley now can lose it. He can't win it. Jim Rice hit a home run to deep center in the 2nd. Red Sox led 2-0 after 3, 2-1 after 4. Now trail 6-2 in the 7th. There's a fly ball to left. Back goes Oliver. It's 6-3. So Jim Rice homers, and that's his 3rd of the year. It's starting to look like last night's game. Oliver turned and watched it go, and Rice motors around the bases. So 6-3, here's Yaz. He is 1 for 2. He has walked and singled. Alexander deals, and Yastrzemski gets hit. Yastrzemski and Alexander exchange some words. Fisk and Sundberg kind of glare at each other. Freddie Lynn comes out, kind of walks Yaz to first. Alexander just kind of glaring down at Yaz. Both the benches just kind of go to the top step. Al Red Sox fan and Jose Feliciano just kind of pointing, don't you come out here. Don't you come out here. You know, if one gets thrown out behind Fisk, hell's going to break loose. And Todd Buckeye is right. Bob Stanley is the winningest pitcher ever to come out of Maine. Pitch to Fisk. Here's a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Yaz goes to third. Fisk is going for two, and he's in there. So Doyle Alexander's day is done. Alexander and Yastrzemski wish each other a happy Easter as Alexander trots down the third base line. Jim Umbarger, oh my God, are you kidding? Tries to hold on to the 6-3 lead. Umbarger has pitched twice. He pitched in 2 of the 3 games against the Yankees. His last time out, 1 inning, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2. So on the year, he has gone 2 2/3 innings, allowed 11 hits. That sounds like the Marciano Walcott fight I had last week. 7 runs, all earned. He has walked 3, hasn't struck out anybody, and has an ERA of 23.63. And the tying run is at the plate for Freddie Lynn. Umbarger delivers. Lynn. Line drive to Campaneris for the second out. That's a biggie for George Scott, who has himself a triple. So Umbarger technically is in a safe situation. Let's see what Scott can do about that. There's a homer on the year and 12 in the real life. Pitch. And there's a fly ball left field. That should stay in the yard. Oliver will make the catch to retire the side. The Sox get a solo shot by Rice. They put on 2 more and can't get anybody else home. 7 in the books. It's, wow, really? Texas 6, Boston 3. And DJ John with more breaking news. Luis Rojas to be the next manager of the Mets. I wonder why they didn't go with Bam Bam Mullins. He's their bench coach. He should have. He was in line to get the job in San Francisco until they decided to go with Gabe Kapler. You wonder why Mullins can't get a job. Although Boston's still looking for a manager. He is Felipe Alou's son. Okay. And Felipe, of course, had a very good run in Montreal. Toby Harrah is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Thompson, who was in right, and Benitez to follow. Top of the 8th, 6-3 Texas. And there's a liner in the right field. That's going to get down there. Harrah's now 1 for 3. And that'll bring up Bobby Thompson, who's 0 for 1. Throw to first. Harrah is back. Stanley, known as a ground ball pitcher and the bane of my childhood existence. No pressure on you, Bob. Pitch to Thompson. Liner right back to Stanley. What a play. I think, yeah, always the bridesmaid and never the bride. Here's Benitez. He's 2 for 3. With a homer and an RBI. Stanley indeed vacuumed that up for sure. Power tool that he is. Ground ball to short. Burleson might get 2. Remy for 1. No throw to first. Harrah with a roll block slide. And Benitez is on with 2 out. Bump Wills 2 for 3. Single twice. Got thrown out trying to stretch that first single into a double. And scored a run. Pitch to Bump. And there's a fly ball going to drop into right center field. Lynn and Evans converge on it. Lynn throws it back in. Benitez to third, Wills to first, and that's a 9th hit for both teams. Jim Sundberg is 0 for 3. He struck out twice. This one's taking a while today. Pitch from Stanley. Here's a ground ball to Burleson. Behind the bag, over to Scott. For the out. Breaking news courtesy of MLB Radio on Sirius XM. So that no more runs, 2 hits and no errors. Texas has left 6 on now, 7.5 down, 6-3 Rangers. So here's Dwight Evans. Evans, Hobson, and Remy. Dewey's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Anyone else got one of those bicycles with a motor in it? I was curious about hearing more about that. Pitch to Dewey. Away from Sundberg on strike 3, and Evans is thrown out. So goes 2-3 on the card. And 1 out for Hobson, who is 2 for 3. He's got himself a single and a double. Pitch to Butch, struck him out. Barger, 2-2, strike 3, fastball at 89. So 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th for Mr. Remy, who is 1 for 4. Pitch to Jerry, ground ball to short. Campaneris over to Hargrove. Remy can run, but he's out by an eyelash. They got him on a bang-banger, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 8 down. Texas 6, Boston 3. With a giant... Oh, a big wheel. I got to ride a big wheel once. I was 2, and somehow I had enough strength in my legs to do that, which I couldn't do now, of course. I remember those big old hunking thing of plastic. I think I took a whole barrel of salty sweet crude. Hargrove, Campaneris, and Oliver. Stanley, an inning and a third, 2 hits, 24 pitches. Hargrove has walked twice, scored once, and is 0 for 2. All right, so what do you guys think of the Hall of Fame voting? Pitch to Hargrove. Got him! An 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Stanley, and second of the year. Bert Campaneris, of all people, he had one homer. In fact, you're showing him with a 0.2% chance of hitting one all year in 269 real-life at-bats, and he did it in 16 in the replay. Bert has 3 RBI on the year. 3 RBI today. And the main reason why the Rangers hold a 6-3 lead here in the top of the 9th. Pitch to Campaneris. Ground ball to Remy. Moves over to his right. Throws to first. For the out. 2 away. For Al Oliver. Burleson, Rice, and Yastrzemski. For the Red Sox here in the 9th. Oliver chased Eckersley with a solo shot, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. I would think so. Buckeye Todd says, I know you can't see this on YouTube, Bonds and Clemens will eventually get in, but will they show up for the ceremony? I would think so. I think Barry's going to want his day in the sun, and so is Clemens. I wonder if the Hall of Fame is concerned about Schilling getting in by himself and what he would say. Schilling to me is borderline, and not because of his politics, but the fact there's a pretty good donut in the middle of Schilling's career. His zenith was Hall of Fame worthy for sure, but his valleys were, in my view, enough to keep him out. And I don't have a problem with Jeter not being 100% either. And Larry Walker is a great choice. I'm glad he got in. Pitch to Oliver is a ground ball right back to Stanley, over to Scott, and that will retire the side. Texas goes down, nothing across in the top of the 9th. Roger Moret, former Red Sox pitcher, coming in after 8.5. Texas 6, Boston 3. Moret has faced 1 batter. He did that a couple days ago against the Tigers. And that's it. He's just faced 1 batter. 0-1 on the real year. A 4.91 ERA. He does have a save. 14 2/3 innings, 23 hits, a home run. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Burleson, Rice, and Yastrzemski here in the 9th. 3 to tie, 4 to win. Burleson 0 for 3 with the walk. Fly ball to right. Thompson, who's a 2 out there, makes a great play. So it is possible for a 2 to make a great play. He made a diving catch, and there's 1 out for Rice. 2 homers today, 2 for 4. He's now got 3 on the year with 7 RBI and 6 runs. Yeah, if he keeps it to baseball, I think he will be fine. And he may be ready to be contrite. He doesn't, in my view, he doesn't need to address anything, but I wish, if he just keeps it on his love of the game. If he gets in next year, I'm not going to be bothered by it. It's just not someone that I would vote for. Pitch to Rice is a ground ball, third base side. Hara, long throw across, and Rice is out. So 2 out for Jim Ed, that's the second out. Here's Yaz, 1 for 2. Carl has singled and walked. Can the Hall fit the Browns' bust of Barry Bonds in there? And I would imagine, I don't see Bonds and Clemens getting in next year, and that's their 9th. Unless they picked up another 15%. I think they both finished around 60, if I'm not mistaken. So I think if they do get in, it would be on the 10th year because they only have 2 more years left. Last chance for the Red Sox, 6-3 Rangers. Here's the pitch. Yes, ball 4, so we're not done yet. Here's Carlton Fisk. He's 2 for 4. He's got a single and a double. And if he should reach, Freddie Lynn. Moret. Bond's head has shrunk since his playing days. What the heck? Yeah. Pitch to Fisk. And there's a line drive, base hit left side. Yaz goes to third. Fisk is at first, and here's Freddie Lynn. Or not, he's a tying run. But the Red Sox might actually go and play the percentages here. And bring in Bernie Carbo to pinch hit. Carbo, before he was traded to Cleveland, 261, a homer, and 6 RBI. And so, me not doing my best Don Zimmer, we'll play the percentages and see if we can extend the ball game for George Scott. But Carbo can hit a home run, probably not, and is the tying run at the plate. 6-3, Texas. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and they've left 6 on. Boston playing a typical 70s, 80s Red Sox game. 3 runs, 10 hits, an error, and they've left 10 on. So far, Yaz would be 11 and Fisk would be 12. Pitch to Carbo. Ground ball, foul, first base side, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Carbo struck out 8 times in 46 at-bats for Boston. 1-2 count. Pitch for Moret. Fly ball left field. That should do it. Oliver comes in, and the Rangers win a biggie. So Texas wins this one 6-3. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Rangers. 3 runs, 10 hits, an error for Boston. Alexander gets the win. 6 1/3, 9 innings, 3 hits, or 3 runs. All earned the 2 homers to Rice. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Umbarger and Moret get the hold and the save. Eckersley takes a loss, 6 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned to 4 homers. How can you not give the MVP, Digital Dice MVP, to Bert Campaneris? A 3-run homer outwon the ballgame. Eck walked 3 and struck out 7. Bob Stanley, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits and a strikeout. And so there you have it. Let's get the rest of Friday in, shall we? So I'll let you see that one play out. And then we'll call it a stream. The Expos 2, the Mets nothing. How about that? Baltimore 3, Milwaukee 2. Detroit shuts out Toronto 5-0. Slayton with a 5 strikeout complete game. Minnesota goes to 6-4. They beat Seattle 3-1. Home opener at Minnesota. Home opener for the Cubs. They lose to Pittsburgh 7-4. Jerry Royce gets the win. Los Angeles, only one run. A Rick Monday solo shot gave Tommy John the win. They beat the Braves 1-0. Philadelphia beat St. Louis 3-2. Carlton goes to 2-0. Larry Bowa 2 RBI. Cleveland 11, Kansas City 5. The Tribe get their first win of the year. Rick Wise, speaking of that, Eckersley trade goes to 1-1. Houston shuts down Cincinnati 2-0. San Francisco off to a 1-6 start. That's bad. Randy Jones goes to 2-0. And Oakland finally puts California in the loss column 3-1. Detroit got 16 hits in there, 5-0 win over Toronto. Tommy John throws a 4-hitter. The Giants have 4 errors. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, for the Phillies and the Cardinals. Or Monopoly, whatever. I don't care. Have a good day.